This is my audience.
You got any chips? Chips and salsa.
Okay, guys. T. Harper Eker once said, "Nobody ever died of discomfort, yet living in the name of comfort has killed more ideas, more opportunities, more actions, and more growth than everything else combined. Comfort kills." Believe me when I say that comfort hasn't killed anything in my life for the past 5 weeks. These past 5 weeks, I have been doing a study abroad program in Barcelona, Spain. I use the following sources to help explain how I developed in the past few weeks: Comfort Zone quotes, Google Maps, search quotes, Tourist Guide Barcelona, GeoWare digital posters list, GeoWareOnline.com, IconFinder.com, credit cards, quotes, compare.com, KarenWhimsy.com, and I interviewed Paige Christensen, my aunt. My name is Michelle Michael, and I'm going to speak on 3 things about me developed because of a place I have visited using the following 3 points: confidence, from traveling on my own for the first time in my life, learning to go with the flow, and appreciation. Like T. Harv Eker insinuated above, discomfort leads to growth, and over the past 5 weeks, I have grown more than ever before. For the first time in my life, I was truly on my own. I've always had friends and family nearby, but now they're roughly 5,750 miles away from home if you make a beeline across the Atlantic. But I survived, and going through all of that gave me a new sense of confidence in myself. The first weekend in Barcelona was complete chaos. On top of jet lag, our group from I knew no one in, started booking our weekend travels. My internet wasn't working, and my credit cards seemed to be blocked. I ended up calling my credit card company the next day, and they told me that I only had a $200 maximum on it. That's only about 150 euros. Not a lot in European money. I came up with a plan, and I started withdrawing euros, 150 each day, and had other generous people on the trip buy my tickets for me. I repaid them in cash. I had to seek the help of others, but I still handled the situation on my own. This is a picture of me on the metro with 2 other girls in our group. Our first weekend, we traveled to Paris, France, and the metro was my next big feat. It was completely foreign to me, and so were all the people I could seek guidance from. My first weekend, I became very, very familiar with the metro after I got lost for 3 hours, but now I consider myself a pro. These are just 2 experiences I had that led me to my newfound confidence in myself and my abilities. I've never been the kind of person who can just sit back and go with the flow, which leads me to my second point. Shania Twain once said, "I really feel like life will dictate itself. You should allow it to unfold as naturally as possible. Just go with the flow. When you are really desperate, you say a few prayers and hope for the best." I have not always lived my life this way, but it's pretty much been my motto for the past 5 weeks. There's really no use worrying about all the little details when I had no control over anything. When interviewing my Aunt Paige, I asked her to describe me with 1 word, and she said stubborn. I took this very lightly because we both know that I am extremely stubborn. However, on this trip, I surprised myself, and I'm sure that I would have surprised her as well, because I learned to sit back and go with the flow. You learn very quickly with 30 strangers that everyone has their own agenda, and it wasn't going to work out very well if I was stubborn during that. I wasn't the only stubborn person on the trip, and I realized that very quickly too. After my 3-hour metro lesson in Paris, me and the system had come to an understanding. The next day, a group of us set off for Versailles, and I quickly realized as we were getting on the metro that they were making the same mistake I had the day before. I tried to tell them, but nobody listened. It seemed like a fight was going to happen if I kept going, so I decided I would just go with the flow and get on the metro. So we got off at the next stop when they realized that we were going the wrong way and got on the right metro. It wasn't worth a fight, and the day turned out great anyways. By forcing myself to take a step back, I was able to gain a new perspective, and with these new perspectives, I feel that I came home with a new appreciation for what I have. One of the most beneficial things about my trip was that I did come home with a new appreciation for my country, my family, and for the new cultures I learned about on my trip. Coming home... And now I have my third main point. Coming home was like lifting a weight off my shoulders, not because it was just very familiar, but because I realized how good we really do have it here. Our government takes care of us, and as much as we fight the rules sometimes, I have to admit the structures look nice. There's building regulations and traffic laws that people actually follow. One of the most notable things, in my opinion, was that I don't feel the need to tightly grip my purse at all times. In case you haven't heard, La Rambla, which is a major tourist destination in Barcelona, is known for pickpocketing. There is a pickpocketing and bag snatching problem in Barcelona, says Tourist Guide Barcelona, and they even provide a safety link. We learned this firsthand when 5 out of the 30 people in our group were pickpocketed. I even saw someone get pickpocketed on the metro one night. I really appreciate the feeling of security, among other things that America provides us. On the weekends, we would travel, so as well as learning about the Spanish culture, I was also able to visit Paris, France, and Rome, Italy. I loved learning about the country's histories and their cultures, and I didn't waste any time doing almost everything that was on Rick Steves' tour guide. I think I enjoyed France the most because we got to learn about the French Revolution. This is Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, which is one of the major destinations, and Notre Dame, which was also one of my favorite things, and this is at the Forum in Rome. I learned so much on my trip, and I feel like I am coming home far more cultured. Knowledge isn't necessarily appreciation, but I can honestly say that I appreciate all the opportunities this trip provided me, and I appreciated all the historical and cultural background I walked away with. I believe this trip has given me a new sense of appreciation, allowing me to learn about others and showing me how great I have it. My trip to Europe taught me so much and helped me develop as a person. I became more confident in my abilities, and I won't be scared to travel on my own from now on. And I also learned that life has its own plans in store for me. And most importantly, I came home with a new appreciation for what I have and for the countries I visited. In conclusion, this trip to Europe has changed my life, helping me develop and grow as a person. I have become more confident and appreciative, and I have learned to go with the flow. Yay!